My kids have been on screens way too much lately, so it got me thinking about what in the world we could do now that it's summertime and not quite as freezing cold. And yes, I know I'm wearing a sweater. We had a cold snap, and I'm filming this at the end of June. But it will be warm within the week. It'll be within the 80s or 90s. So yeah. Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm a mom of two with a third on the way. So let's focus on some summertime activities that don't involve screens, but also are not super parent intensive either, because I'm just going to be getting more and more pregnant as the summer goes on, and obviously more and more uncomfortable as the summer goes on. So we shall see how this goes. Let's go. I have 3 different areas that we can talk about here. I have outside at home, I have inside at home, obviously, and I have out of the home environment. So like actually going places. So let's start with outside at home, because oftentimes that's all kids need to be able to reset, is just going outside and being in the sun. So let's talk about some things that could be good to do outside with littles. I'm specifically thinking of toddlers because mine are toddlers at this point in time. So I need simple activities that will also be good for toddlers, which we all know. Sometimes that doesn't mix. So let's talk about outside stuff. You can grow a garden and have them help you water. My kids love helping me water. We just put in some landscaping and it requires a lot of water, a lot of times watering. And we also put in a garden. So they are loving watering stuff and helping me water, helping my husband water, helping my dad water when he was here, and like starting out the watering process. It's awesome. If you do have a yard, which ours is not completely in yet, ours is still seed, but in the next few weeks, we should have some grass. Probably by the end of the summer, I would be comfortable allowing my kids to kind of walk on the grass and kind of lay in the grass and just, be kids. But something else you can do, so number 2, is teach them to be calm by laying in the grass and looking up at the sky, looking at the clouds, looking for shapes. So it helps use their imagination, and it also can teach them to just relax a little bit, because everybody needs a little bit more relaxing. Maybe your kids are already kind of relaxed and you got it. Or you can do bird watching with them. That's also fun. I know that my older daughter specifically is always like, hey, it's a bird or whatever, and my younger daughter's imitating the birds. So they love birds too. Number 3 would be water playing in the backyard. So again, this would be better if you have grass already in, which we don't, but it's fine. We have a very nice patio in the front and in the back. We mostly use the back one, but we have a little pool that we fill up for the girls, and they have loved it when it has been a little bit warmer. This could also include like water painting or watercoloring type of thing, where you just give them a thing of water and a paintbrush and you allow them to paint the sidewalk or the walls or whatever it is. If you've got brick or stone, it would show up really well, the water would, and it's really easy because there's no cleanup, but you might destroy brushes, so just be careful. Another really easy thing for outside is sidewalk chalk, of course. So you can teach them games outside for sidewalk chalk, like hopscotch, like Foursquare, or you can just have them let their imagination run wild. Recently, my older daughter has literally just wanted to draw H's, like the letter H. I have no idea. I have no idea why that's the case, but that has been what she's wanted to draw. So our patio is currently covered in different colored H's. And then of course, as well, another really easy outside thing. So number 5, sidewalk chalk was 4. Number 5 is bubbles. Bubbles are super fun. It's something that you can make your own bubble solution, and the kids can help with that, or you can just make it on your own if you don't want to deal with the potential mess and cleanup, but you can definitely do all kinds of bubbles with that. So all kinds of different techniques, and just reuse the bubble wands and bubble containers that you already have bought, because most people have bought lots of bubbles for their kids because that's what we do. It's super easy. So, and it has not changed being super easy. Recently I saw, for like toddlers that have a hard time blowing bubbles, is doing like a water bottle with the end cut off and a sock on top of it, and then you dip it in the bubbles and you blow into the water bottle and it makes like a bubble snake thing, and that looked really, really cool. I think I want to try it with my younger daughter. Well, and my older daughter. Both of them have a hard time sometimes with getting the bubbles to blow right. Although my 18-month-old, or a year and a half old, I should say, because she's more than 18 months. She's actually 20 months. But she is really good at blowing and directing the blow. I think that when she turns 2, her candle will be out like that. I won't even have to help. It'll be fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and move on to indoor fun. I've got 5 related indoor activities. Not all 5 of them are related to each other, but I've got kind of 5 categories of things for indoor activities. So the first would be some kind of game. So depending on the age, if they're younger, you could do like a color sorting activity. If they're older, you can do like some kind of board game. My older daughter really likes this memory game that she has. I will insert a picture of it here or here. One of the, yeah, probably here. She really loves that, but my younger daughter would probably be more into a color sort type of thing. All right, number 7, I guess, because 6 would have been the last one. Number 7 would be creative stuff. So like Play-Doh, coloring, other art projects, including toilet paper and paper towel roll, tunnels for cars, and, you know, just swords even. Like maybe your kids are like mine and need to release some energy, and you can just give them a couple of toilet paper, or not toilet paper roll, paper towel roll things, and just let them go at it. The next thing on my list I have is hide and seek. You can, instead of participating in it yourself quite as much, you can go hide a stuffy, like a stuffed animal or a doll or something, and you can have them go find that, kind of play hot and cold type of thing. Or you could build a fort. Like, not that that has anything to do with hide and seek, but it could be fun to hide in the fort. Oh my gosh. To hide in the fort. Oh gosh. Okay, and number 9, because the last one was number 8. I really need to remember to actually count these off. Okay, so number 9 is puzzles or a scavenger hunt. So like mind things to help, not necessarily with creativity, but with logic and things like that. So I know my younger daughter would kill it with scavenger hunts. She remembers where everything is, and we don't even know how. When my parents were visiting a little while ago, my dad was like, hey, where's my water bottle? And my younger one comes toddling up with his water, or brings him over and points to it. I don't remember exactly what happened, but she knew exactly where the water was and that it was his water. He'd only been there 2 days, and she knew. She already knew where the water bottle was and which one was his. So I think she would be fantastic at scavenger hunts, but my older daughter, puzzles have been a great thing for her. My younger daughter tries, she gets a little bit frustrated with certain things. My older daughter has liked puzzles a little bit more, but she's also 18 months older, so. And then number 10, I have work on letters and numbers, and that can be verbal or writing, depending on how old they are. And then also, this would be mostly verbal, but shapes, well, you could write for shapes too, like draw the shape itself, and body parts. So for my younger daughter, shapes and body parts would be more like what we'd be working on, obviously recognizing letters and numbers, of course, but my older daughter would be the one that would be like working on writing or actually drawing the letters and numbers. So since she's 3. So anyway, if these are things you haven't thought of, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, of course, so that other people can find these tips and tricks for summertime. All right, the last section, the last 11 through 15 is outside of the house, like going to a location. These ones are going to take more effort just because you have to get them in the car and out of the car and all sorts of things. And now I'm spiraling back into my video from last week. I will link it up in the cards where I talk about survival mode and how it's really bad for you to kind of go into these spirals and only think about worst case scenario. So they are going to be a little bit more effort, but they are still doable and they could be a ton of fun. So number 11 is something that we don't usually leave out of our schedule, and that would be the public library. So our public library has a story time a few times a week actually, but our public library is really great with story time. There are other places that I've been where there's only been one time in the week or every other week or once a month or whatever, but look into your public library, see if they have a story time. That can be a great way to get your kids out and doing something other than screens and, beating each other up like my kids do. And the other thing with the public library is sometimes there is a summer reading program. So our library has a summer reading program. The public library that I had as a teenager also had a summer reading program. I remember I was of the age where it was counting pages. Younger, they usually count minutes instead. So, and you're reading to them counts, obviously, because a year-old can't read a book, and just looking at the book is not what they're looking for in the brain development. They are looking for expansion of vocabulary, use of words, all of that stuff. So the more variety in books that you read to your kids, the wider their vocabulary will be. Even some board books can have a wide range of words, and that can really help. It can help them exercise their brains and also help them to exercise their sitting still skill. So they're exercising their brains and they're exercising skills. Cool. Number 12, swim lessons, which are practical for the safety of your child and your own mentality. Oh my gosh, words are not my friend today. Although I've been doing a lot better today than some other days. It makes it easier for you to know they know how to swim. So we were going to do swim lessons this summer, but I just never actually got to signing the kids up. I was always worried that we would be late, or I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get the kids to do what they're supposed to. Also, sometimes they only take 3 and up. So swim lessons are great. I remember doing swim lessons in summertime as a kid. My mom grew up in pools, so she was like, yeah, my kids have to know how to swim. That's not at all how she sounds. All right, number 13. So 13, 14, 15, these are all play date things. They're much better if you have a group of people, some of your friends, some of your kids' friends, all of that would be a great idea. So obviously going to a park with friends. One of our parks, or a couple of our parks, have a splash pad that is open from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and that can be a really good thing. Again, because it's hot in summertime, being in the water could potentially help them kind of get used to swimming or, whatever. Splash pads are fun. They're really fun. All right, number 14 is spending money places. Maybe you go to a local pool that you have to actually pay to get into or something, or you go to a trampoline park or the zoo or a museum or something like that. The zoo and the museum very well could be things that are a little bit more difficult if you're looking for something that is, less parent involved, as in yeah, you still have to supervise your kids. Of course, supervise your kids. You should never leave your kids unsupervised. Bad things happen when you do. Your kid wanders to the neighbor's house. Yes, that happened to me. I was literally right there and she still wandered to the neighbor's house. Anyway, yeah, it's just things that will require more walking or whatever. It's gonna be a little bit more effort. All right, and the last thing, number 15, if it's too darn hot, and this would actually work for winter play as well, find some kind of play place, McDonald's play place. Some other places have some too. We've got a drink place that has one, and that's really fun. And it's a pretty typical gathering place during wintertime specifically, because that one gets super hot in the summer. But yeah, going to some kind of play place, indoor play place, where maybe you just have to buy a drink or something, and then your kids can play. It's really fun. So that's all I've got for you today. So comment some of your favorite things to do with your kids in the summertime. If you liked this one, you might like this one, which talks about getting your time back and being more present and being a more present parent, which summertime is all about. So I'll see you there.